When your dog stares at you from across the room, do you actually know what they're trying to say? You've probably looked back at them and wondered, maybe smiled, maybe told them to stop being so weird, maybe just gone back to whatever you were doing and thought nothing of it. But behind that stare, that quiet, unblinking, completely focused gaze your dog locks onto you with, there's something happening that most owners never find out about. Something that changes in both of you every single time it happens. There are 7 things going on when your dog stares at you, and number 4 is backed by science that will make you see every future stare completely differently. Number 1. It was never just a stare. So what is your dog actually doing when they stare at you? Most owners assume one of 2 things. Either their dog wants something, food, a walk, attention, or their dog is just zoning out and you happen to be in their line of sight. A coincidence of geometry rather than an act of intention. But here's what the research says. A landmark study published in the journal Animal Cognition tested whether dogs use eye contact with humans deliberately and purposefully, or whether it's incidental. What they found was unambiguous. Dogs who were unable to solve a problem on their own didn't just give up. They turned and looked directly at their owner's face. Not at a stranger in the room, not at the door, at their specific person. The gaze was intentional, directed, and it was communicative. A deliberate request for help from the one individual their brain had designated as their partner. Your dog isn't staring at you because you're in their way. They're staring at you because you are the first place their mind goes when something matters. Number 2, they're having a conversation you don't know you're in. Here's something that will change how you sit in a room with your dog forever. Every time your dog holds eye contact with you, even for just a few seconds, a full neurochemical exchange is taking place between you. Both of your bodies are responding to each other in real time in ways that neither of you consciously controls. Researchers measured oxytocin levels in both dogs and their owners before and after sessions of mutual eye contact. The results were striking. Both the dog and the owner showed significant increases in oxytocin after just a few minutes of looking at each other. Oxytocin is the same hormone that surges between a mother and a newborn during bonding. It's the chemical that creates attachment, trust, and the feeling of being deeply connected to another living thing. Your dog looks at you and your brain releases a bonding hormone. Your body releases that same hormone and your dog's brain detects it. Through your expression, your scent, the subtle shifts in your face and produces more of its own. Back and forth, building on itself. Every single time your eyes meet. The researchers then tested this same setup with wolves who had been raised by humans from birth, animals with just as much human contact as any pet dog. The loop didn't activate, not even close. This response exists only between dogs and people. It evolved specifically through thousands of years of dogs and humans looking at each other. And it is happening in your living room every time your dog catches your eye from across the room. That's not a stare. That's a bond being renewed. Number 3, the soft stare versus the hard stare. Not all stares are the same, and learning to tell the difference is one of the most important things a dog owner can know. There are 2 completely distinct types of eye contact your dog gives you, and they mean opposite things. The soft stare, relaxed face, slightly blinking eyes, loose body, no tension anywhere. This is the one we've been talking about. This is love. This is your dog choosing to look at you because looking at you feels good to them at a neurological level. When your dog gives you the soft stare from across the room while you're reading or watching television, they're not asking for anything. They're just choosing you, quietly. Without agenda, the hard stare is different. Unblinking, fixed, body stiff, weight slightly forward. This is not love. This is a dog communicating discomfort, a warning, or a boundary being pressed. You will rarely see this directed at you from a bonded dog, but you may see it directed at another animal, a stranger, or a situation that's making them uneasy. The reason this matters is simple. Most owners know the hard stare from instinct. Something feels off, and they respond accordingly. But the soft stare gets misread constantly. Owners look away, go back to their phone, tell their dog to stop staring. Without realizing, they just looked away from their dog saying, "I love you." And this next point is the one that makes that hit even harder. If this is making you want to go find your dog and just look at them for a minute, subscribe to Paw Told. We break down what your dog has been trying to tell you every single day in ways most people never figure out. New video every week. Number 4, your dog's brain lights up for your face specifically. The same neuroscientist at Emory University who studied dog scent responses, the one who found that your smell activates the reward center of your dog's brain more powerfully than food, ran a second experiment, this time with vision. He showed dogs images of faces while they were inside an MRI machine. Human faces, dog faces, familiar faces, unfamiliar faces, and within the human faces, strangers versus their owner. The results followed the same pattern as the scent study. Their owner's face produced the strongest response in the caudate nucleus, the reward center, of any image tested. Your dog's brain has a specific response to your face that it doesn't have for any other face on Earth. Not a stronger version of a general response, a categorically different one, the kind of neural response that's reserved for things that matter most. This is why your dog stares at you specifically when they could look at anything else in the room. The television, the window, the other people sitting right next to you. They choose your face because their brain has already decided, at a level below thought, below choice, below anything conscious, that your face is the most important thing in their world to look at. So the next time your dog stares at you from across the room, know this. They're not waiting for something to happen. They're looking at their favorite thing. Number 5, they're using your eyes to understand their world. There's another reason your dog stares at you that goes beyond bonding and beyond love, and it's one that most owners never consider. Your dog uses your eyes to navigate reality. Picture this. Something new appears in your home, a package by the door, a piece of furniture moved to a different wall, a bag you don't normally leave on the floor. Your dog sees it, and before they investigate, before they approach or retreat, before they make any decision at all, they look at you. Researchers at the University of Milan documented this in study after study. When dogs encountered unfamiliar objects or situations, 83% of them looked to their owner's face before deciding how to respond. And critically, the same test run with a friendly stranger giving the same facial cues produced almost no effect. It was the owner's expression specifically that guided the dog's response. If you looked at the new object calmly, your dog relaxed. If you looked at it with concern or surprise, your dog became alert. Your face was the entire information system your dog used to understand whether the world was safe or not. Think about what that means. Your dog doesn't just love you, they trust your perception of reality more than their own. Every time they stare at you, part of what they're doing is checking the most reliable source of truth they have about how the world is going at this exact moment. Number 6. Staring is how they ask for help without a voice. Dogs have been living with humans for somewhere between 15 and 40,000 years, depending on which research you follow. And in all that time, they've developed something no other domesticated animal has managed to the same degree. They learn to ask us for things using only their eyes. Researchers gave dogs a puzzle, a container with food inside that was impossible to open without human help. Then they watched what happened. Dogs who had been raised with humans didn't spend long trying to solve it alone. Within seconds, most of them turned and looked directly at their owner's face. Not at the food, not at the container. At their person. They weren't giving up. They were communicating, deliberately and specifically recruiting their owner's help, using the one tool they knew worked. Sustained eye contact combined with physical proximity. The same study run with dogs raised without significant human contact showed a completely different response. Those dogs kept working at the puzzle alone. They didn't look to a human for help because they hadn't learned, the way your dog has, that humans and dogs can solve things together. Your dog stares at you when they need something, not because they're helpless, but because somewhere along the way they figured out that looking at you works, that you respond, that you and them are a team. and they've never stopped believing that. Number 7. What it means when they stop. This is the one that matters most, and most owners only understand it in hindsight. A dog who no longer makes eye contact with their owner is a dog trying to tell you something important. Deliberate gaze aversion, when a dog actively looks away from their owner rather than meeting their eyes, is one of the clearest stress signals in canine body language. It's not shyness, it's not distraction. It's a dog communicating that something in their world or something in the relationship doesn't feel safe right now. Sometimes it's situational. A dog who's done something they know you'll be unhappy about will avoid your eyes, not out of guilt in the human sense, but because your disapproval is a social signal they're trying to de-escalate. Sometimes it's deeper. A dog going through pain, illness, or significant anxiety will withdraw their gaze because maintaining eye contact requires a level of social engagement their system can no longer sustain comfortably. And sometimes, and this is the hardest one, it's relational. A dog who has experienced repeated stress, fear, or unpredictability in their relationship with their owner learns to look away as a protective behavior, not because they've stopped caring, because they've learned that eye contact sometimes leads to something that hurts. If your dog used to stare at you and has stopped, gently, patiently, with no pressure, try to meet them where they are. Soft eyes, relaxed body, no expectation. Let them choose to look back. Because when they do, and they will, that moment will mean more than any stare that came before it. 7 things. 7 layers of what's happening every time your dog looks at you from across the room. A bond being renewed in real time through chemistry neither of you controls. Brain lighting up for a face it has decided is the most important one in the world. A trust so complete that your expression is the compass they use to navigate reality itself. Your dog can't write you a letter. They can't sit you down and tell you what you mean to them. They don't have the words, and they never will. But they have their eyes. And every time they find yours, across the room, in the quiet moments, in the middle of an ordinary day when nothing is happening and everything is fine, they're telling you everything.